I'm in a 2003 Chevy Tahoe. See the check engine lights on. It's here for a misfire. He was having misfires and I wasn't 100% sure on my diagnosis, so I told him to take it to a shop. It's what I do because I don't like to waste people's money if I'm not 100% sure, okay? But my best guess on it is I told him he has a few, like 1 or 2 bad injectors, something like that. So he went to a shop and sure enough they told him he has bad injectors. So they went ahead and fixed it. It's been like 2 months or something like that. Anyway, the misfire has come back and it's a dead miss. I could just feel it. We got some codes here. Let's see. And look at what code we have. Engine misfire and injector control circuit. Does he have more bad fuel injectors? I don't know. I'm gonna give the truck a quick look over, but I'm not really sure if I'm doing anything about this because technically it's still under warranty, okay, from the shop that did the work on it because of this same exact problem. It's been like 2 or 3 months, right, since he had the initial repair done, and then he said the check engine light came back on, so he took it back, right, and they said they fixed the problem. He gets the truck back, he said driving fine, and then like 2 days later check engine light comes back again. So he took it back to the shop once again and they told him they couldn't find a problem. And then that's when he decided to call me and have me look at it. Here I have a misfire counter and you can see cylinder number 2 is just counting up, and cylinder number 6 we get the occasional like little fish bite, but number 2, that's like a dead miss. As you can see, I have my multimeter right here and I have it connected to the suspected bad fuel injector, and you can see that right there, and we have 12.3 ohms, and earlier today when I checked it, it said about 14.3. So I went ahead and checked 2 other fuel injectors and we got the same reading, about 13 to 14 ohms. So that tells me this is perfectly within spec and maybe there's nothing actually wrong with the fuel injector. So I know it's not a definitive test, but it just gives us some direction. Alright, so after unplugging those 2 injectors to do an ohms test on them, and they pretty much checked out fine, well, in relation to one other fuel injector. But since I did that, the truck is running super smooth. Everything is reconnected, obviously. Look at this. No more misfires, right? Okay, so before I touched anything, the truck was misfiring. Then I come and I start messing with the harness, and all of a sudden it was running fine, as you guys just saw inside the truck. So it's time to do a tug test on the wire harness. So this is a harness for the injector. And I think I already see one of them starting to tear. Not the green wire, it's just a pink or red one, whichever other color it is. Hard to tell, so dirty. But it looked like it's starting to stretch right there, right at the base. Let's see. It's difficult because it wants to pull on both wires. Oh, they both broke. Look at that. That did not take a lot of effort. So that's the problem. That's why we have a injector circuit code. That's why we have the misfires. There's your problem, lady. So now all I have to do is go to an auto parts store, and they do sell a what they call a pigtail. So it would basically be this connector to connect into the fuel injector, and maybe like 2 or 3 inches of wire behind it, so you could solder on to these wires. Now the reason why I'm putting out this video by itself like this, normally I would include it with a bunch of other videos, but I'm gonna put this one out separate because I feel like it could help a lot of people. And I've actually seen this where, like, say you know, actually this very same type of vehicle, some other customer had it, and they had a injector circuit problem, right? So the guy, I told him, yeah, you got at least 2 or 3 bad fuel injectors. And he's like, you know what, we're gonna replace all of them. I'm like, are you sure? That's like stupid expensive. Like, no, I get them all on Amazon for, you know, like $100. And I'm like, that's a bad idea, because anyone knows, if you go to any of these auto parts store, an injector is probably like 110, 120 just for one. So let's do the math, okay? You have 8 fuel injectors, and you want to buy all 8 of them at $120. Oh, that stacks up really fast. So this is why you do not want to just go replacing injectors like crazy. Just because you have a injector circuit problem doesn't necessarily mean it's an injector. Sure, it can be an injector, but it doesn't necessarily mean it. Like in this situation right here, the owner of this vehicle had already ordered a fuel injector and was gonna have it delivered. And yes, he did pay like the $110 or $120 for it, but he ordered it before I was able to get back to him on what the actual problem is. So don't go wasting your money on injectors. Sometimes it's something as simple as a broken wire that causes injector circuit problems. So we're gonna go ahead and get that fixed, and it should fix this truck. We have a new pigtail. The owner actually went to the junkyard himself and pulled this off of another car. I told him, while you're there, you might as well pick up like 3 or 4 of them, because you never know when it's gonna go bad again. So they're pretty inexpensive if you stop by a junkyard. And let's go ahead and get these soldered onto these wires right here. I'm pretty much done with the repair. As you can see, they are soldered together and then some heat shrink over them. Now in this case, the colors that matched up was the 2 red, let's just call them red, the 2 red wires. The other 2 wires did not match up, and it really all just depends on what car you get your pigtail off of from the junkyard, and also which cylinder, because every cylinder is going to have a different color. It doesn't really matter so much the colors, because they all fit, okay, as long as you get them in the right right direction. When you plug it in to the injector down here, it's going to match up perfectly as far as which wire is which. Now there is a little security clip that goes on here, and I have to take it off of the old clip or the old harness, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap these wires up and make them look neat and original, so no one could even tell that we were in here. As you can see, everything is in place. We got the little security clip put back on the harness. I've already started the truck, and I can already feel that it's running nice and smooth. I can't feel any misfires, so I'm just waiting for the scanner to get ready here. And here we go. This is real time. As you can see, no misfires, and I do have this data pin, so you can see the engine is running. And once again, no misfires. So next step is I want to go ahead and clear the check engine light, and then we can see if that injector circuit code comes back, which it should not come back. Check engine light is now off. Let's go ahead and read fault codes one more time. There you go. No more codes for injector circuit, and this one's all fixed. So like I said earlier, when you come across a situation like this, do not let someone just automatically talk you into fuel injectors, because they are very expensive. At least a decent quality fuel injector is very expensive. So it really does pay off to take the time and to really look at the situation. You may save a ton of money here. If you go on Amazon and find 8 fuel injectors for just over $100, don't buy that garbage. It's all crap. The OEM injectors that came in your car are way better than any cheap Chinese crap you're gonna find online. So that's it. This truck is all fixed, and I talked to the owner, so I got a little bit more of the story out of what's going on here, or what had already gone on. So he took it to a shop a few months ago, and he had an injector circuit code Okay, so he took it to a shop and they replaced the fuel injectors. They told him you're all good, sent him down the road. A few months later, which is current time, he gets the code back, so he takes it back to them. And what do they tell him? They tell him he needs a tune-up, despite just having a tune-up done less than a year ago. They told him he needs a tune-up. Okay, and I told him, so he's like, yeah, they went ahead and took care of it. I told him, all right, so it didn't cost you anything? He's like, no, I still had to pay. I paid them $75 to change the plugs and wires, and luckily the parts that they put on, since I brought them myself, they were still under warranty through AutoZone, so he did not have to pay for the parts this time. But it still cost him money and a major inconvenience, and most importantly, they didn't fix his problem. So if you have a problem like this, do not let someone convince you that, oh, your car just needs a tune-up, without even taking the time to look at your car and get down to what the real problem is. So I hope this video helped someone, and thanks for watching.